AVS Media Demo. AVS Media Demo. AVS Media Demo.
Last night I read the
AVS Media Demo.
The moon was at the door, while the horizon burned with the thread of
AVS Media Demo.
I don't know that I give a damn for the prophets in their eyes. All I want,
AVS Media Demo.
are we going into the heart?
Standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome again to All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church on a Sunday for our virtual worship. I lose count. I think we're about at 54, maybe something like that, services now online. We come together here so that we stay connected. We do these things live so that we can be as much together in the moment as possible. As we do the Facebook stuff, if your comments are more than welcome, they're encouraged. Also, there will be posts there for things that are coming up along the life of the church and the community and our justice work and everything else. So it's a good place to engage during the service. This is a congregation that's built on covenant rather than creed. We agree that we will treat one another respectfully, and we honor the principles and sources of Unitarian Universalism, and we would love to tell you more about that sometime. But whoever you are, whatever your age, race, origin, orientation, background, status, ability, identity, if you care to be here with us respectfully, as we try to be with one another, you're always, always welcome. Things are still in transition. We'll see where they go next. In the meantime, we front load these services with announcements so that you can stay in touch with what's going on. And I want to invite one of our board members, Rebecca Tuggle, to share with us at this time.
Thanks for that great transition music. I love that. Yes, I am Rebecca Tuggle. I am the board treasurer for All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church. Welcome. We're glad to have you here. A few announcements. As Barbara said, we'd like to front load with this. Our March giveaway the plate recipient is Holy Cross Hope House, which if you don't know anything about them, they do a lot of work for and with the homeless community here in the Shreveport area. We also have the Highland Blessing Dinner that we do with Highland Center Ministries. Those are now on, they used to be only Thursdays, but now it's Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 6. And they could use some help, not only putting those meals together, but handing them out to people. We have more and more people coming for that. So if you're able to, that would be great. We also have Zoom lunch, which happens on Wednesdays at noon, and there will be one Wednesday, this Wednesday at the 31st. You can connect with some of your All Souls friends over a virtual lunch. Now, Larry Andros, who is here to do meditation with us at each of our services, also does a Saturday morning meditation at 10:30. That's free and open to everyone. And of course, if you enjoy Larry as much as the rest of us do, you probably would want to look in on that. Now, next Sunday is going to be Easter Sunday, April the 4th. That is first Sunday, which is also our Knoll Pantry, Food Pantry Sundays. Melissa Lewis has taking up these. So she usually comes up to the church for a specific length of time. There will be more information on that. And of course, we are self-funded, and we do a lot of work not only in the community but around the state, trying to bring attention to liberal religious views and platforms and things that we do. So we can always use your support. You can find links to giving not only here in the comments, as well as links to other things that I have mentioned in the comments, but you can also go to our website, allsoulshreveport.org, where you can find ways to not only find out information about all of those things and more, but links to actually give to the church. And we appreciate any and all contributions. Thank you very much. We're now going to go to Susan Caldwell, our Director of Religious Education.
Oh, great music. Thank you so much, Reverend Barbara. So yes, as Rebecca mentioned, next Sunday is Easter, believe it or not. Here it is again, our second virtual Easter. And we can use a few Easter bunnies to help in the next few days. We are going to need some drivers. We're going to do some deliveries around Easter. And with that, it'll probably be Friday and or Saturday if you happen to be available. I know some people have Friday off, the Good Friday, some don't, and we understand, of course, if you don't. But if you do and you would like to help us drive some things around, we have some communion supplies, and also I think we're going to try and do some special deliveries otherwise to our families with kids, so that we're also asking that you might help out the Easter Bunny in dropping off a dozen stuffed plastic Easter eggs, and let us know if they are appropriate for children under 3, meaning no nuts, no hard candies, no small toys, no choking hazards, but you can stuff the eggs either with candy or with small toys that are not dangerous, or there are some eggs that actually are sidewalk chalk, which is kind of cool. Anything like that, stickers, anything like that, just do put on the bag whether or not they're appropriate for children 3 and under. And you can drop those off at the church. Like if you put them in a plastic bag and put them by the door, we will be there often enough this week that even if we're not there right when you come, we'll be there in time to retrieve them. Just put them by the office door. We will have family religious education today, and I'll say a little bit later about some of what we're doing in there today, but it should be kind of fun. And I believe, Together Louisiana has a large assembly coming up on April 12th at 6 p.m., which is the first day of the legislature. I do not have the link for that. I couldn't get to it this morning, but we're going to have a link for that available on our website and on our Facebook page as soon as possible for you to go ahead and get registered for that. And if you would like to be part of Together Louisiana's rapid response meetings that meet every Monday morning at 8:30, bright and early on a Monday morning, you can get in touch with me either in the comments here or at dre@allsoulshreveport.org, and I'll be sure that you get on that email list. Now I really do think I am done. Let me hear from you. Thanks.
Thank you, folks. I did want to add that the delivery times are adaptable to your schedule. So we are open to input, absolutely open to input from you on that part of it. So now, if you will, let your ears drop away, your shoulders drop away from your ears. That would be rather awkward. Take a couple of deep breaths. Let yourself be here. Let yourself feel us together with you. Throw your thoughts out to embrace all the people in this community that you can think of and miss and would love to see. Send them warmth, send them love, and let's enter a spirit of worship. By no means are we Unitarian Universalists perfect. We often fail as much as we succeed. Yet even when, to quote the song, "Come, come whoever you are," even when we have broken our vows 1,000 times, we return to this essential work of justice and liberation for all. We do the work best when we remember what church is and what it is not. Church is not a place to hide. It's not the place to go to get away from the world. It's not a place where we get to pretend that the lives we live and our particular situations are not terribly complex, often confusing and sometimes depressing. Church is the place where we stand with one another, look the world in the eye, attempt to see clearly, and gather strength to face what we see with courage and, yes, with joy. Our children's chalice lighting this morning, it comes from Natalie Carlisle.
Light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. We light this toast of the open mind. This is the church of the helping hands. This is the church of the loving heart.
And we all fall down. We light this chalice, the beacon that calls us to love, to justice, to a deepening of the spirit. Blessed is the flame that burns deep in the soul. It's the flame of the human spirit, touched into being by the mystery of life. It is the fire of reason, the fire of compassion, the fire of community, the fire of justice, the fire of faith. It is the fire of love burning deep in the human heart, the divine glow in every life. Would our board treasurer, Rebecca Tuggle, please lead us in our unison affirmation?
Yes, thank you, Barbara. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with each other.
Can we keep that screen up for a minute and revisit it yet again? I want to encourage you to physically verbalize those words. You did a great job, Rebecca. I'm just trying to cheerlead.
No problem.
I,
I'll say it again if you want.
I also am inclined sometimes to say, stand up to say it. Let's try it again.
You got it.
Well, go right ahead.
Okay. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with each other.
Thank you so much for putting up with me. I like us to get back into the habit of things that might have become too easy to just kind of float through. Our opening song is Come and Go With Me to That Land. I've tried to find a key that is singable for both you and me. And so I hope you will sing along as we go through the words to this. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound.
Good morning again. I love that graphic so much, Brittany, that I wish I had a story about that cat this morning. But as it happens, I have a story about what you can do. What is yours to do in the landscape of justice? And so I'd like to share that with you, and that no matter what age you are, there is something you can do. You don't have to, nobody can do everything, but all of us can do something. And so this is about young people who are changing the world. And we all recognize Malala Yousafzai. She was 11 when she began to protest the leaders of her country who opposed girls getting an education. 15 when she was shot for her activism, but thank goodness she recovered. She left Pakistan. She continues to be a voice internationally for girls' education. And of course, we all recognize Greta Thunberg. She was only 8 when she first learned about climate change, and she just felt that adults weren't taking it seriously enough. And she has done numerous things to become an international voice for the planet, and she won the Nobel Prize. We've talked about her before, just as we've talked about Malala before. But here's some others that you may not be as familiar with. This young girl is Samantha Vance. And she heard about a concept of buddy benches that some schools were putting on their playgrounds, where kids looking for someone to play with could go and sit on the bench, and then others would come and invite them to play. And there's an example from one school down in the corner here. She decided to collect plastic lids and cups that were then melted down to make buddy benches for her school. And she's since kind of launched a national movement to promote these buddy benches as well.
Miss Susan,
Yes,
we can't see your screen.
you can't. Oh no. Hang on just a second. Let me get back to you. Well, I attended a conference a couple of weeks ago, and people that do these conferences all the time still had things happen like that, and it made me feel considerably better. I do apologize. Hang on just a minute.
The joys of live worship.
Yes, yes, and joyful it
Feel at
is.
home, doesn't it?
Yeah, and joyful it definitely is. I'm sorry, it is not showing up for me. No. There it is. I can screen share, but hang on. I'm so sorry, y'all. There it is. All right. So as I was saying before I did not share my screen, we know about Malala, but she was very she was shot and was seriously wounded, but fortunately recovered and went on to keep advocating for girls' education. And of course, Greta was 8 when she learned about climate change and just felt that adults were not taking it seriously enough. And she has become an international voice for combating climate change and won the Nobel Prize for that. Some folks you may not have heard of, Samantha Vance. This is the buddy bench I was talking about before. That she actually collected plastic lids and cups that were then melted down to make the benches for her school. and she has been promoting buddy benches since then. This is Marley Diaz. She is now 16 years old and a published author. When she was in elementary school, she noticed that most of the stories she was reading had heroes who were white boys. And so she founded an organization called 1000 Black Girl Books. And she actually set about to collect and to showcase books featuring Black female main characters. And she collected over 12,000 of them with help from various people that she approached about this. And she has donated those books to libraries. And now she has this book out, Marley Diaz Gets It Done, and so can you. So again, a young person who got a big idea and decided to do something about it. This is Jaquil Jackson. He was only 8 years old when he went to help his aunt deliver meals to the homeless. Since that time, he has founded something called Project I Am, which distributes blessing bags to homeless people, not only across this country, but actually in other countries, to homeless people or to people who've been victims of natural disasters. The bags include first aid kits and socks and a water bottle and some non-perishable snacks and just all kinds of things. And that model has been adapted by a lot of different places, that model of blessing bags. And this is Sophie Cruz. She was born in the U.S. to two parents who are immigrants from Mexico. And she made one of the most inspiring speeches at the first Women's March on Washington and continues to be a voice for immigrants' rights. And you should definitely look up the video to that when you have a chance, because it is very inspiring. And she was just 6. So, of course, I can't leave out our local activists, and I've mentioned them before, Ava Kate Peck and Gretchen Upton, and they are active on many aspects of social issues, whether it's immigration or climate change. Or I know Ava Kate has written numerous letters to the president, and I hope she doesn't let up on that. I hope she continues to hold the new president accountable. And of course, Gretchen has been active with the Sunrise Movement on climate change and with Black Lives Matter and immigration rights so much. And they're just right here in Shreveport doing what they can do. So what you can do, no matter what age you are, kids and grown-ups, speak up and speak out on what matters to you. That's one of our Unitarian Universalist principles. You can write letters to elected leaders, hold them accountable. If they promise to do something, make sure they do it. Or if they promise to do something bad, make sure they don't do it. Never pass up a chance to show kindness. If you're helping one, you are helping. And finally, do what's in front of you. As I said at the beginning, one person can't possibly do it all, but all people can do something. And so I thank you. I hope you'll think about this and think about what is yours to do, what's in front of you. And I thank you for your patience with my technical difficulties today. Thanks.
Good morning. For today's meditation, let yourself find a comfortable position. Let your body be balanced. Let your spine be straight. Begin with a deep, comfortable breath, shifting your attention to your heart space, and imagine breathing in and out of your heart. Allow your breath to deepen and slow. Allow your breath to be soft and kind. In this moment of sacred silence, reflect. Long have I wandered in search of a life of meaning, and much have I seen in the many twists and turns that path has taken. I have seen inequity and injustice, poverty and abuse next door to wealth and privilege, leadership that does not lead, institutions of service estranged from those they were built to serve, walls of separation that perpetuate time-worn patterns of human suffering. As I join hands with those who travel with me to walk and live the path of beloved community, it is clear I must go forward with new choices, new actions, new vision. I need a dream. But how shall I proceed? What steps to take? As I survey the field of those who travel with me, I see an endless range of diversity, differences in strength, in knowledge, in training, in wisdom, differences in belief and culture, in experiences and needs. Some who lead, some who build, some who cherish the lessons of history, some who speak for change. I see power that shows itself in acts of kindness and displays of beauty, astonishing creations of the human spirit that call out to be honored and cherished and celebrated. And I see clashes of ideas and strategies that inspire and guide our steps to justice. How can I end in justice and yet honor our differences in strength and wisdom? In this sacred moment, I go now within, for it is here in my center that I can know the dream of a world born fresh and new and whole. In this dream, I stand upon the mountain that sees the infinite potential of our oneness. In this dream, I rest in the valley where seeds of compassion and healing are planted and nurtured. In this dream, I embrace the power that serves the heart and the love that gently guides our awesome strength. In this moment, I center in my breath. Breathing in, I touch the great dream of our becoming. Breathing out, I bring that dream to earth.
Barbara, you're still muted. There you go.
That's good. I just shared a bad joke. I'll tell it to you again. uh, and I probably shouldn't. But anyway, what world famous rock group has 4 guys that don't even sing? Mount Rushmore. Ba-dum boom. I extend my apologies here at the start with fair warning. I will probably be mixing metaphors all over the place this morning and will no doubt be shuffling around inside the ones that I use, changing directions with some of the imagery midstream. This past week, in some of my reading, I again came across this portion of Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. His imagery was a reference to the passage in the prophetic Hebrew Testament book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 4, actually, but I'm going to share verses 3 and 4 with amplification my own. A voice of one calling, in the wilderness prepare the way, make a clear, direct route through the parched, barren landscape for the teacher of wisdom, a highway for the source of all that is. Every valley shall be raised up, every mountain and hill made low, the rough ground shall become level, the rugged places a plain, a broad valley. The passage in Isaiah is talking about making all of the challenging parts of the path easier to navigate smoothly. But the sense I got from Dr. King's use of the passage was more one of leveling the playing field. And that is certainly a worthy vision, one that we are even now being called on to serve with the obscenely, patently racist actions of the Georgian legislators and governor. We have seen how shamelessly those who are woefully lacking in the understanding that naturally elicits compassion will work to promote what they perceive to be their own interests. Frankly, I would love to tell our former president the only way in the final scene that you will be the only way in the final scene that you will not be a profound loser is if everyone wins. Though I'm doubtful he would be able to grasp my point. Don't be fooled into thinking those efforts to wrangle voting rights away from people are something that happened or is happening over there. There are rollbacks of voter rights being negotiated in our Louisiana legislature as we speak. A surprisingly well-organized strategy for using the very mechanisms of democracy to erase it from existence is in process. If we care at all about this beautiful experiment, about the dreams we have, however slowly, worked toward, the ideals of freedom, liberty, and justice for all, we need to pay attention and be willing to go much farther than the extra mile to preserve and further the rights we say belong to all people. We cannot afford to let ourselves be too lazy, too old, too tired, too busy, too hopeless, too comfortable, or too disinterested. The work that is ours to do, the service to love that is our prayer, is not the easy, inherently fun kind. Though when it is done together, it can be far more enjoyable. It's probably not what you had in mind to do with your retirement, or what you care to think about at the end of a long workday, or how you might choose to spend your family time. Still thinking together, thinking creatively, working in concert with other groups spread across our city, our parish, our state, our nation, we can and must accomplish this mighty task. Our government of the people, by the people, for the people, and the dream of its perfection will perish from the earth if we aren't involved, actively involved. I know in a number of circles they talk about, we are the hands, God's hands on earth. We work on our internal climate and landscape so that we might be effective carriers of the love we profess into the world. But at this time, the lay of the land is treacherous. In the same I Have a Dream speech, Dr. King also said, "Now is the time to rise from the dark, desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice. Now is the time to open the doors of opportunity to all of God's children. Now is the time to lift our nation from the quicksands of racial injustice to the solid rock of brotherhood." Along the way, we've heard talk of draining swamps. Those employing that language have often turned out to be the very introducers of toxins they would profess to clear. Nor does there seem to be acknowledgement that swamps are necessary. Wetlands are among the most valuable ecosystems on Earth, transition areas, acting like sponges to absorb excess water, moderating the effects of flooding, protecting coastal areas from storm surges that wash away fragile coastline, the edge of the land and lake, the sea and shore. Places where land and water meet without destroying one another, designed for that coming together. Draining swamps actually only creates more area for business as usual, altering even that seemingly treacherous landscape comes at a very dear price. This past week, when I came across the quote I mentioned first from Dr. King, for some reason my response was unlike what it had been on previous occasions. This time I thought to myself, but I don't want to see the mountains laid low or the valleys lifted up. We need both. As Larry's meditation pointed out, after all, mountains offer a means to see broadly, long vision. They are places one can sometimes rise above the clouds, places where the atmosphere is less dense and thoughts can clear. They offer solid ground to stand on or build on, of course, disregarding earthquakes or volcanoes, and are often elevated positions of advantage if one is engaged in battle. They provide place for water to recondense and return to feed the waterways. Valleys, on the other hand, are where the soil is fertile, where vegetation can flourish, where travel is often simpler, where there is more shelter, milder climate, more of the many things that support life in general, and as a result contain more plant and animal life. It's there the water collects for easier use. Between the two, the water runs and is used to power many things. We must have conversations with those who are younger than us to learn from their questioning and hear the freshness of their ideas with a different spin, as challenging and energetic as it may be, whatever our age. We must have conversations with those who are older than us to learn from their mistakes as well as their visions and successes, hindsight and wisdom of ages. We have to learn to listen and talk with those who think differently than we do so that pathways may begin across the canyons and swamps and chasms that divide us, the oceans. And we must remember always what can be lost if we aren't willing to stay engaged in the process of restoring, repairing, improving, and evolving these ever so flawed and fragile systems into ever more fair, compassionate, worthily functioning structures. If your skill is mountain climbing, finding your way to the long view, we need your help. If your skill is cultivating new ideas, new growth, helping the valleys and plains flourish, we need your help. If you are a great support person, a great listener, a sorter of information, a collector of facts, a generator of calm, a cheerleader, one who recognizes patterns, one who's good at research, good with children, good at driving, delivering, good with the internet, good with telephones, good with letter writing, picking up, reading, cooking, writing, painting, singing, decorating, good at conversation, good with technology, patient. We need you. If you are a problem solver or a problem identifier, if you are good at being a problem on cue, even that could be useful. Sometimes we need those adept at making mountains out of molehills. The view from the top of even fabricated mountains can be more expansive than from the ground. We used to sing a song for justice that was initially a hit recording by Sammy Davis Jr. The lyrics to that song went, "Gonna build a mountain from a little hill. Gonna build a mountain, least I hope I will. Gonna build a mountain, gonna build it high. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, I only know I'm gonna try. Gonna build a daydream from a little hope. Gonna push that daydream up the mountain slope. Gonna build a daydream, gonna see it through. Gonna build a mountain and a daydream. Gonna make them both come true. Gonna build a heaven from a little hell. Gonna build a heaven, and I know darn well, if I build my mountain with a lot of care and take my daydream up the mountain, heaven will be waiting there. Still on the ground, we must walk one step at a time. That's where we find the tools and the teams. If we truly are the people we claim to be as Unitarian Universalists, 6 out of the 8 principles call us to this work, no matter our age or station. If your survival needs are being met, you already have the advantage of choice. If not now, when? If not us, then who? And to turn the figure of speech yet another direction, these hills are quite tall. Nevertheless, don't we want everybody to be able to vote? Don't we want the people's voice on gun control to be heard? Don't we want to keep women's rights to control their own bodies? Don't we want children to grow up having air that's breathable, water that's potable, food that isn't carcinogenic? Don't we want to have the right to move about as we will? Say what we know to be true, worship as we see fit? Then this landscape must be successfully traversed. These mountains must be climbed. All of us must find our place in this work. As Nelson Mandela said, I've walked this long road to freedom. I have tried not to falter. I've made missteps along the way, but I've discovered the secret that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. I have taken a moment here to rest, to steal a view of the glorious vista that surrounds me, to look back on the distance I have come. But I can only rest for a moment, for with freedom comes responsibilities, and I dare not linger, for my long walk is not ended. When I pasted that quote into my script, it indicated that the type font it was originally written in was Georgia. That felt immediately affirming to me. Don't just talk about climbing the mountains, do it. I mean, actions speak louder than words. I hope you'll join us in singing the closing song. It's a video from the Foothills Unitarian Church, which is from my hometown in where I lived in California. Please sing along.
From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion
New ways of looking at things, the lyrics written backwards. As we extinguish our chalice, the road that lies ahead is a long one. The pace of progress will sometimes feel glacially slow. Never forget that glaciers over time can carve out Grand Canyons and Great Lakes. Moving tectonic plates can rise up mountains over millennia, or they can explode awe-inspiring volcanoes in milliseconds. There is too much hardship in this world to not find joy every day. There is too much injustice in the world to not right the balance every day. There is too much pain in the world to not heal every day. Each of us ministers to a weary world. Let us go forth now and do that which calls us to make this world more loving, more compassionate, and more filled with the grace of sacred presence every day. We extinguish this chalice flame, daring to carry forward the vision of this free faith. That freedom, reason, and justice will one day prevail in this nation and across the earth. May it be so. Amen. Ashe. So be it. Blessed be. Go in peace.